What's going on, Jerome? It's a beautiful Friday, and it's time for another Vikings news dump. He sees you when you're pooping. That's right. So, first night of football is in the books. Just watching the tail end of the game right now. Who knew that placing Xavier Worthy, the pride of Texas, hooking baby, the fastest receiver in combine history with Patrick Mahomes would be good. It's pretty good. It's crazy, man. Also, tonight, Packers and Eagles close the borders, playing in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Now, I need to start off with a mea culpa, an apology to the good people of Brazil. Now, I sort of painted with a broad brush yesterday, saying that the game in Brazil was a bad idea. And I apologize because I know that we have a strong contingent of Brazilian fans. And also, I'm a big fan of Brazil, man. Like, I went there after college. Of course, I practice a little. I like your version of the jiu-jitsu. Like, you took something from my people and made it very, very good. So I love Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Also, butts. And also I understand there's some very passionate American-style football fans down there. But I don't know. Just because they have a large population doesn't mean that they're going to be turned on to American football, man. I just don't know. Because they've been trying to jam soccer down the throats of 350 million Americans for 50 years now, and it just hasn't taken. I think that it's just a cultural thing. I don't understand the Brazil thing. If you're going to do a game of Brazil, why not be a preseason game as opposed to a game that actually counts? I don't know, man. But hey, if the Packers and Eagles can just tie, that would be fantastic. But again, it's sort of like, again, I commiserate with our Brazilian American-style football fans, especially Brazilian Vikings fans. Also, Timberwolves Brazil, we need him back. That's right. But it's more akin to having passionate soccer fans, passionate EPL or La Liga fans here in the United States. Is it ever going to catch on to the point where it makes sense to have a full-on investment? It'd be like having a Premier League game that counts for the 38 in the league table over here in America. I don't know, man. I don't know. But again, apologies to our OG Brazilian fans. You guys are the best. Also, I love your waxes. Also, your barbecues. Anyways, but the Vikings do take on, long story longer, the Vikings do take on the New York Football Giants on Sunday. And again, to remind you, I swear to God, if we lose to a team that's dressed up like Krusty the Clown, cancel the season. Like, they should, honestly, they should be wearing the oversized red shoes that honk when they step. Okay, I'm not going to lie. They're kind of okay. Although they look like rugby shirts. Also, the helmets. So it's like the red and blue version of the Michigan Wolverines helmet. Now, I understand the Michigan probably stole this from the Giants. But so the helmet looks like a random team in your high school's football conference. Like, there's always one or two teams that had the Michigan or Delaware Blue Hens wave or whatever that is. Anyways, but again, I swear to Christ, we can't lose to these jabronis. That's all. Injury report. So nothing changed for either squad. Jordan Addison and Jalen Naylor both still limited on Thursday with those ankle injuries. But Jordan Addison, feeding the local media jackals, he did say that he's going to be good to go. Kramer Strib, Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison, ankle, says he's 100% and will be playing Sunday. Now, he says that. Is he 100%? Probably not, but is he close enough? Sure. Said he knew immediately that he had a high ankle sprain when he went down in Cleveland, but had no concern he'd miss a game. So I guess you could say that it was good, that it was early-ish in the season or in the preseason. So he was able to heal up and be good to go for week one. Naylor, I don't know, man. Like, they were less enthusiastic about Naylor, even though Kevin O'Connell was trying to spin this positive as he always does. So I don't know. Like, I feel like we'll see. We'll see. Speaking of Vikings receivers, the El Primo, numero uno, Andrew Kramer Strib. Justin Jefferson says 2,000 yards is the only one I'll probably ever chase as far as individual goals. He fed the local media jackals, talked about goals, talked about winning Super Bowls, talked about why he stayed here in the great state of Minnesota. And yeah, Jets 2K. certainly will be on the table. And he flirted with it in 2022. He was off to a very good start in 2023, but of course that hamstring injury popped up. But Jefferson, so people don't point out enough that Jefferson is the NFL career yards per game leader right now, and of course that's a living amorphous average. But it has it's like 98.3 yards per game. It's pretty insane. It's pretty insane, man. And also, he was on the Alec Lewis podcast. Fantastic. Go check that out. He said this about 2,000 yards from Purple Persuasion, quote, I'll eat. Say that all the time. I'm going for 2,000 easy if that was the case. But now to have all that and to still, put up numbers and to be top in the league it goes to show you the player that I am and how difficult that it really is to make a play. And that's true, where to get open and make plays when everyone knows you're getting the ball, it's pretty damn amazing. And also, we said this about Jefferson too, is that the Dobbs hospital ball against the Raiders aside, like Jefferson is very good with spatial awareness of knowing where the hit is coming from and being able to sort of never take a direct shot, if that makes sense. Also, we pointed this out before. I always love how Jefferson is constantly falling forward. Do you ever notice that? Like 9.5 times out of 10, like whenever he's being tackled, he's always reaching the correct way. Not like putting the ball in danger per se, like the Eagles game, but he's always getting an extra yard and just falling forward, and that adds up. And so instead of a 3rd and 6, you're facing a 3rd and 5, and the conversion rate goes up precipitously. And every single play, I don't know if it's a learned skill or if it's something that McCardle coaches, but even back at LSU, he had that. So it might just be part of his game where he's constantly falling forward. And I think that small things like that certainly add up for Justin Jefferson. Also, speaking of Justin Jefferson, I guess this is the Jefferson episode. But over at, I believe it was Fox Sports, Greg Allman, Tampa Bay beat writer, Quarterback Confidential, NFL passers pick the smartest quarterback, blah, 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 blah. So they polled 38 quarterbacks, 38 current quarterbacks, and it was a mix of starters, vets, rookies, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And the main question we're focusing on is, if you could have one NFL receiver to throw to, who would it be? And 14 of the 38 respondents voted for Justin freaking Jefferson. And the rest, the 24, don't know ball. So breaking things down. So obviously Jefferson is one. Tyreek Hill, I understand it. Speed. Getting 9. Devonta Adams 4. I don't know. I feel like the bloom is a little bit off of Devonta Adams. It's interesting that Jamar Chase only got 2 because the media always wants you to believe that Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson are in the same tier. Jamar Chase is very, very good. He's not Justin Jefferson, right? Also, you notice there's no Brandon Ayuk votes. No problem. Also, CeeDee Lamb, who got paid, only got 2 votes. One of them is probably Dak. One of them is Dak, and the other one is Cooper Rush. No problem. Cooper Kupp getting 2 is probably Stafford and Stetson Bennett on the vote. Let's see. Or no. It was Stafford and Jimmy Garoppolo on the vote, even though Jimmy G got suspended. A.J. Brown's probably Jalen Hurts, Mike Evans, Johnny Manziel. That's Baker. As well as DJ Moore of the Bears. I mean, that had to be Caleb Williams, right? Probably. How does Mahomes do it? God. Anyways, but that is respect from the peers, and also I'm glad that it's a different demographic than the NFL Top 100 votes, which is also kind of good too. But Justin freaking Jefferson getting it done. Love that. Also getting it done is Rob Thug Life Brzezinski. So the Vikings, after a couple of signings, had just under $1 million in cap space, but they freed up an undisclosed amount by restructuring T.J. Hockenson's deal. Now, Hockenson isn't getting a pay cut in the spot. What's likely happening is a traditional restructure, taking his base salary, trimming it down, turning it into a signing bonus, and then prorating it over a number of seasons. So that's how the Vikings can free up cap space. They can do that with a number of players. So cap won't be an issue this year, especially since the Vikings will have a ton of cap in 2025. Speaking of cap and contracts, so Harrison Phillips, since coming over from Buffalo, he's established himself as a team leader, named a first-time team captain this year, although he's been leading from day one, and he's a heart and hustle, meat and potatoes, do all the dirty work on the inside defensive tackle, plays the nose, plays 3-tech, does everything. And he does a lot of really good things that don't show up in the box score. And he's a very important player in this defense. And he is going to be 29 in January. He is going to be out of contract, but the Vikings ideally would like him back. This is from Vikes fan page. The Vikings think the world of interior defensive lineman Harrison Phillips, and he is currently in a contract year. Darren Dugu also mentioned on Score North. Should Minnesota look to extend Phillips? Yes. Think of like a 2 or 3 year deal. Keep him through the last couple years of his prime. And also, for thinking the world of, is that he puts the team first. He does the dirty work. He's great as a leader on the field. His charity and organizations do fantastic work off the field. Like, he is A+. Love me some Horrible Harry. He's fantastic, man. Also fantastic. So U.S. Bank Stadium is going to be debuting a number of new foods this year. And Darren Ravel, new at Vikings games this season: buttermilk brine, chicken thigh, coleslaw, tzatziki, and Nashville hot sauce. Now, there's a couple things here. Number one, this looks delicious, right? Like, you can't go wrong with a fried chicken sandwich, right? Also, I love that chicken thighs have taken over from chicken breasts, because remember, like, just a couple years ago, everything was like chicken breast, chicken breast, chicken breast. And like, if you're in the bodybuilding community, chicken breast and rice, chicken breast and rice. It's boring. Like, they're very easy to dry out, and I don't know, they just don't bring flavor. Where chicken thighs, it's really hard to overcook chicken thighs, and they bring a lot of flavor, and they bring just as much protein. And also, now that people aren't afraid of fat, and they bring that too. So yeah, I love chicken thighs. Like, get yourself like a bunch of bags of those boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Ideally, I would prefer the skin on, but beggars can't be choosers. But just having those, like, toss them in the air fryer, easy, quick, or toss them on the grill, easy weeknight dinner. It's fantastic. But going with the, well, sort of barbecue adjacent. So you got the Nashville hot sauce. Now, the tzatziki is fantastic, except I don't see the connection, like the whole Greek sauce with the Nashville hot chicken. But either way, like, hey, it could be fusion. I don't care how things come together, man. Oh, because that looks really, really good. Not gonna lie. But also good is these stupid. Again, if we lose to the Giants in these uniforms, move this team to San Antonio. Just revive Red McComb's dreams of the San Antonio Vikings. Actually, he probably would have renamed them. Oh, speaking of Red McCombs, do you know that University of Texas at Austin's business school is named after Red McCombs? One person's enemy is another person's a freedom fighter. It's weird. Anyways, that is it. You guys are the best. Happy Friday. You know what to do. Venmo. Score a lot of points too. Production value.